Big Red Nation, are we here? The best show for Chicago sports. Oh my God!
Yeah. What's good? What is going on, party people? It's your boy Pat the Designer back at it again. Appreciate y'all tuning in and rocking with us for another episode of the Windy City Breeze Sports Talk Live. We got some Bulls basketball to break down here. Y'all already know how we do on the show, man. On the show today, could the Chicago Bulls be losing Zach Levine to the Los Angeles Lakers? We're also going to qualify 2 final people for the Dosumnu jersey, but because I don't know if you can tell, but if you look in the description or look next to where it says the Windy City Breeze, you will see 13K. So the phone lines will be open today. We'll be qualifying a couple more people. We're also going to break down NBA action around game 2 of this level of the playoffs, man. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the page. We do talk Chicago sports daily on this channel. It's the only channel talking Chicago sports, how Chicago talk. So make sure that you get in tune with us, man. Yeah, we do. It is Thursday, May 5th. I got mine. You got yours? Always a good day for some day drinking, you know what I'm saying? All right, let's kill the music. What's going on, Chicago? How y'all feeling today, man? How are y'all feeling today? We got a lot to get into today. Got a jam-packed show. Got a lot of stuff we want to break down. Listen, nothing's going to measure up to the show we had yesterday. Stacey King coming through. That's crazy, right? Got it cracked open. I'm ready to enjoy a daily show. The one good thing about having your own show is that no matter what, I can pretty much do what I want, right? I can pretty much enjoy what I want. So, hey, we drinking on the show today. Oh, are we? Yeah, we are. Who told you that? I did. Appreciate y'all. Hey, listen. We're so excited to give away these final 2 spots. We'll be giving the jersey away tomorrow. We're going to essentially put all the names in a hopper, but I really want to give you guys give back to you guys. We appreciate y'all for showing so much love. We reached 13K yesterday. On the same day that we got Stacey King on the show, bro. It was such an honor to have Stacey on the show with us, man. It felt like, dream come true almost. Maul was good. Shout out to the chat as well, man. It's the thing. It's a family in this mug. Ichigo in here. Chicago Garza in here. Baki in the chat. Baki, our resident, the black Adam Schefter. You know what I'm saying? Maul in the chat. Who else? We got Corey in the chat. Jaden in the chat. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got something built up here. Robert Schwartz in the building. You know what I'm saying? We got a lot of stuff built up here, man. So I really want to say thank you guys to everybody. Listen, there's some of y'all that have been rocking with this for a heck of a long time, right? There's some of y'all that have been rocking with this for, since its infancy. I know Samurai J been here for a long time watching the show. And the fact that we've gotten all the way up to 13,000 subscribers, where a year ago, man, I still got posts popping up where a year ago I think we're at like 4K, 5K, something like that. You know what I'm saying? Just the grind that we put in, the work that we put in on this show. But it doesn't go unnoticed, man, that you guys show up every day. It doesn't go unnoticed that you guys show love every single day. It doesn't go unnoticed that I see some of the same names in the chat every single day. And so I want to really say thank you Thank you. Thank you from the bottom of our heart. We're going to have a couple of trivia questions for today. I believe we're going to be doing the first one. Let me check the schedule here. The first one we're going to be doing around 11:20. So we're going to get the phone lines up and cracking. If you haven't already qualified for the Io Dosumnu jersey, we're going to want you guys to call into the show. We'll ask you a trivia question, and there are 2 spots left. 2 spots left, and we're gonna be giving away a brand new Io Dosumnu jersey to one fortunate person. You know what I'm saying? So hit that like button, subscribe to the page, man. We're at 13K, and that's how we've been doing it, man. That's how we've been doing it. But let's get into the topic at hand, right? Because there's been so much talk about Zach Levine being on the move. There was a report that came out from essentially they're like a highlight page, you know what I'm saying? Like it was an interesting report to see in general because I was like, dog, are you a reporter or did somebody just tell you this or like how did you get this information, right? But listen, pretty good amount of following. I don't know if they're a legitimate page, but even the tweet to me, right, just makes no sense. Let me see if I can pull it up on Twitter so everybody can see it. I should have had that ready. That's my fault. Um, but the tweet to me it honestly just makes no sense to me because it's essentially saying that Zach Levine hasn't been healthy. That he's for a while been unhealthy with his role with the Bulls here in this season that we just had. He's been unhappy with how he's been used, and here's the thing: it absolutely makes no sense. Let me pull the tweet up here. This is from Basketball Forever. I'm not saying they're right or they're wrong. I'm not saying that they don't have their own sources right, but I'm a little leery of it, right? Because it says, let me get this off the screen as well so everybody can read it here. Stop being a schmuck here, Pat, my boy. Here we go. Zach Levine is eyeing possibility of joining Lakers this summer through a sign and trade deal, according to ESPN. Now, a sign and trade deal, he would still be able to get his money. He would still be able to get everything, that he feels he should have gotten from the Chicago Bulls. He would just be essentially playing on the Lakers for it. Levine has the same agent as LeBron James, and 2 years ago, Levine said, "I would love to go out there and play with LeBron." I believe there was a retweet on this from Basket or a quoted tweet. Yeah, a separate ESPN report here. It says it's been long speculated that Levine is unhappy in Chicago now that DeRozan has overtaken him as the number 1 option. Levine is an unrestricted free agent this year and recently said, "I plan to enjoy free agency." Here's the problem with this, right? Here's the problem with this. Where is the validity in the fact that he went through an injury, right? And got to the point where he could not be the number 1 on this team if he had wanted to. To me, that's the biggest discrepancy in this whole thing when we're talking about Zach Levine. To me, that's the biggest part, right? Where I feel like there's no validity to this. Because if Zach Levine was upset about his role on the team, the only thing he could be upset at is his own knee. We saw it, the knee, the back, the thumb. They didn't allow Zach to be Zach. You know what I'm saying? And now it's to the point where, and it got to the point, I should say, where Zach Levine essentially was taking a backseat role, and once we knew he wasn't really at 80%, he was more at like 50%, right? Then all of a sudden it's, oh, Zach Levine, was he really a beta? Was he really? No, he was hurt. The only person Zach Levine could be upset about him not being the number 1 on his team is his own body, which, listen, could be an upset thing, but it doesn't, to me, spell, oh, all of a sudden I'm running to the Lakers. And even if a sign and trade deal did come, who do you think we want? Because I'm going to be real with you. There's no realm where the Chicago Bulls, to me, bring back Anthony Davis knowing his injury history. I feel like you can't take that chance. And that's the piece that you would have to send me if he's healthy, right? Because here's the thing, right? There's a chance there, and I will say this, playing devil's advocate, because I think we all agree we really don't want to see AD show up on this team. By the way, the phone lines are open right now, so call into the show for an opportunity to win the Ayo Dosumnu jersey. The number is 855-908-5668, 855-908-5668. If you're not able to or if you haven't already qualified for the show, call into the show now. We'd love to hear from you and get get you qualified for the Ayo Dosumnu jersey. Let me give you some of the names we got already. Some of the faithfuls in this mug. You know what I'm saying? Jamal in the building, Shay in the building, James in the building, Angel, Marv, Mike, Jeffrey, and Q have already qualified. And now there's going to be an opportunity for 2 more people to qualify for that Ayo Dosumnu jersey. Now, here's the thing, playing devil's advocate with it, right? If we're being 100% with it, the opportunity for you to win a championship absolutely comes if you have a top player in the NBA. When Anthony Davis is healthy, he's absolutely one of the best players in the NBA. But right now, I've already got that issue. Right now, I've already got 2 guys I've already got 1 guy who I feel like could be a next level player, but he's hurt. And the biggest part about it is he's not hurt nearly as much as Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis has a million abilities. Anthony Davis is absolutely a problem when he is on the basketball court. But I'll tell you this right now. The best ability is availability. Y'all have heard me say that a million times. And Anthony Davis just doesn't have good availability. He just doesn't. It's one of those things where you have to find a way. And I'm not saying that it's on Anthony Davis that he's been hurt. I'm not saying that he's the reason he's been hurt, but whether he is or not, right? Like he's still been hurt. It's nothing new. There's no lack of talent for Anthony Davis, but there is a lack of availability. At a minimum, right? Not to say that Anthony Davis's injury wasn't severe or anything, but Zach Levine on 50% of a knee showed up to work and played. Anthony Davis couldn't. He just could it was a bad injury. It's not to take anything away from him, right? But Zach Levine during injury played an entire season just about. So how do you get to that? How do you get to the point where Anthony Davis all of a sudden is a better option to have on your team than Zach Levine? How do you get to the point where that's the deal that you're willing to make? I just don't see it. I just don't see it. There's so much at stake with that, right? And I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't think the Lakers see it. I would fully expect the Los Angeles Lakers to tell LeBron, you figure it out. You put us in this position. We offered you a couple of players, you wanted them. These are the players you got, and guess what? One of them comes with a $47 million cap hit. This what you got. Rob Pelinka is definitely petty enough to do it. I know Jeannie Buss is petty enough to do it. Right? So it's one of those situations where if your team is going to be better, now you have to get desperate. Now I know you don't want Anthony Davis on your team. Why would I take him off your hands without you giving me something ridiculous? Some ridiculous trade package. Because Anthony Davis ain't enough. I'm not saying that Zach is an untouchable in this, but let's be 100. Anthony Davis ain't enough. You got to send me back a couple of pieces that are going to fit what I want to do. Because now I'm taking on the inherent risk that comes with Anthony Davis possibly not being on the floor. I need something else that's going to supplement it. Because at a minimum, right, I know I would be sending you a player that even if he's hurt, he's going to get on the court. Even if he's limping, he's going to be on the court. Is he going to be the same player? No. He wasn't. We saw that. He wasn't. He just wasn't. I would go as far to say that 80% of Anthony Davis will probably end up being, because Anthony Davis is that good of a talent, right? 80% of Anthony Davis is probably better than 80% of Zach Levine. It's probably better than 90% of Zach Levine, right? But if I get 80% of Zach Levine, 70% of Zach Levine, 60% of Zach Levine on the court, and I can't get 80% of Anthony Davis on the court, how's that help my team? How's that help me get to the next level? How's that help me get to a championship level team? Those are the questions you got to ask when you're talking about, and it's to me, right? I don't throw a ton of validity at the report. I don't throw a ton of validity at the report. I'm not saying that he doesn't have his sources. They're a pretty big page, right? But it seems like a reach. It seems like a stretch. It seems like what we see uh, Clutch Sports do every season to get the market going up, 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 up. That's how it feels to me, right? It feels like this is being orchestrated. It feels like this is being set up to try and get Zach paid more money. which is weird to me because I feel like the Bulls were going to give him the money anyway, right? Like, is this just like you're trying to guarantee it? You're trying to guarantee it, right? Like, is that what this is? I don't know, man. I don't know. Hey, call into the show. We're gonna qualify our next caller. Well, we'll qualify if you can get the answer right to the trivia question. Yeah, I'm saying got a little Bulls trivia for you. We're gonna make it a little simpler today as well, man, because we're gonna have uh, what's the word? We're gonna have a stats from this season for today, right? We're in the off season during the playoffs, was giving you some playoff questions, but this will be about questions from this season. A couple of easy ones to finish out the season, and hopefully we can qualify 2 more people today for the Dosumnu jersey. So call into the show now, 855-908-5668. Dilly dilly. Ooh, that hit a little different at 11 o'clock. I'm not gonna lie to you. You know what I'm saying? A little morning sip, little morning beer. Hits a little different at 11 o'clock. Definitely not going to cap on that. I'm here for it, though. Here's another question for you. Say this all does happen. Say the Bulls do lose Zach Levine. Say the Bulls, they just can't get it together, right? They can't come to terms with Zach. Can't figure out a way to where the two sides can agree to a legitimate contract deal in the city that's going to put Zach in a good position. And so what do? They have to sign and trade him. What direction should the Bulls go in if that's the situation? Do you go not rebuild, right? Like, do you go with a, hey, we're not going to be the team we thought we were going to be going into this season? So our expectations have completely changed. Do you find another way to go for it? Do you find another way to uh uh um do you find another way to build around DeMar, or do you just wait for development, right? What direction should the Bulls go in if Zach Levine decides to leave? I think it depends on the team as well. Right? To me, it depends on the team as well. But I feel like that's one area, right, where I looked at it and it was like, is it that big of a shift, right? Because to me, I'm gonna be honest with you. Say Zach does decide to leave, it's gonna be a sign and trade. You're gonna get a player of great value back as well. They're gonna have to make compensation somewhat even because the Bulls have no obligation to trade you. You could essentially walk away and lose your money, right? Like I guess it's a better position for the player to be in because yeah, I'm losing money, but I'm still getting 180 million and you got nothing. But do you go back into development mode in that situation? You know what I'm saying? Do you fall back into, hey, we've got to figure this thing out again? That's the question we're going to get to on the other side of this, man. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love, man. I really do. If you guys haven't done so, man, hit that like button, subscribe to the page. For some reason this morning, my soundboard decided it doesn't want to work. So trying to work through that. Normally I'd have a push the button going for y'all. Yeah, I'm saying, but For some reason this morning, my soundboard just said, nah, bro, you good. You don't need these sounds on here. But hey, we're going to keep it pushing, man. We do want to qualify one person right now at the 11:20 hour for the Dosumnu jersey. We got a couple callers in the queue here. Let's see. Actually, we got a few callers in the queue here. Hold on. Let's look at let's go caller 12. What do we got right now on caller 12? Let's go here. Heading out to the 708. Ooh, is this Corey? Is this Corey in the building? Corey, what's going on, man?
What's up, brother? Hey, listen, I want to tell you real quick. That was such a joy yesterday with Stacy, man. Love what you guys are doing. It's my first year following you. Love it.
I appreciate it. I really do appreciate it, man. I appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with us. And just showing love to the show, man. It's really awesome to see.
Absolutely.
And it was dope having Stacy on, bro. Like everybody was sitting there, was like, man, was that Stacey King right there, brother? Was that?
You know what I've noticed? Everyone was quiet, man. Everyone was quiet, listening.
Oh, listen, that's how I learned to interview people. That's from Charlemagne the Guy. Shout out to the guy, man. He said, you bring people on to interview them and then you want to talk to them. Like, that's not an interview.
Right.
Hey, look,
Exactly.
when Stacey King is talking basketball, we listen. But we do have to we are going to ask you a question based on something Stacey said in an interview yesterday. So it's good that you listened to it because I felt like it was a very interesting stat. We know already that Nikola Vucevic led the Chicago Bulls in rebounding.
Right.
Who was second?
Oh, wow.
This is not total rebounds. This is rebounds per game on this one.
You know, I'm gonna go out on a limb here. I think. Oh God. I'm gonna say it was a guard. I can't remember it being a guard.
You're on the right track. Work it through. You're on the right track.
I'm gonna go on. I'm just gonna say it. I may be wrong. Dosumnu.
Nah, dog. That was you at the right position. You at the right position, but that's not it, Corey. You definitely can call in again. We're gonna be qualifying. Listen, we got 4 or 5 jerseys to give away the rest of the year, so you're gonna have an opportunity to win one of them. But that's not it. So if you know the answer, appreciate you, Corey. Stay safe out there, all right, man.
Yep. All right, brother.
If you know the answer, call in. It's not somebody that you would think. I think the chat's got it as well. But it's not somebody that you would think, right? Like, if you watched them and you were like, yeah, that's the guy that's going to be the next one, blah, blah, blah. But you wouldn't know because, if I give you that, I'm going to give it away. So call into the show, 855-908-5668. We're going to be qualifying one person here for that Dosumnu jersey. Who we got on here? Let's go out to the 520. Hold on, let's see. We going? We got it. There we go. Yo, what's good?
Yo, what's good, Pat?
What's going on? Who we got on the line here, man?
Hey, Chef Mac, bro.
Hey, Chef Mac, what's good, Chef?
Yo, what's good, bro? It's been a minute.
Hey, how you feeling, my boy? How you feeling?
I'm feeling great, man. Just, woke up, decided to put your show on, get me going for the morning, You're more entertaining the first take nowadays, so.
Hey, well, I'll tell you, dog, that man, bro, Mad Dog be getting cooked on first take. We'll talk about that too.
Oh, man, don't even get me started.
But Mad Dog be getting cooked. But same question to you, brother. We know that Nikola Vucevic led the Chicago Bulls in rebounds per game this season. Who was second on the team in rebounds per game?
All right, what did the caller say before?
Caller before said Dosumnu.
All right. Would it be? I think it's Lonzo.
There you go. That is correct. Lonzo Ball is the answer. Lonzo Ball averaged 5.4 rebounds while he was with the Chicago Bulls. Chef Mac, you have qualified for the Ayo Dosumnu jersey that will be given away tomorrow. We're going to have 10 names in the hopper. We're going to figure out who's going to get the jersey tomorrow. So make sure that you're tuned in. All right, my guy?
All right, thanks, man.
Hey, stay safe out there, bro. Peace. Love it, man. Love it. We got one more spot to give away. So don't fret, right? Like there's one more question to go. So if you're here for the Ayo Dosumnu jersey giveaway, and you want to tune in with that, we're gonna be doing qualifying for that next spot in the 12 o'clock hour at 12:15. At 12:15. So make sure that y'all calling in, man. Make sure y'all calling in because we just crossed 13,000 subscribers. 13,000 subscribers on the channel yesterday after the Stacey King interview. And you know what? Listen, we got the phone lines open. I do want to hear from you guys as well. So if you guys want to call into the show, 855-908-5668. We can break down some Bulls talk here. We can do a little bit of I'm saying we have since the season ended, we haven't had us a post-game show. So maybe we'll make Thursday our day where we get to what's the word I'm looking for? Where we get to call into the show and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Thursday's usually a slow news day. It's usually Thursday football. Like we can call in and talk about that. Like, who do you think is gonna beat the Raiders? Nobody cares. But no, man, we've got well, I guess Cornelius cares. Cornelius is in here. We will be giving away one more spot though. And tomorrow on the show, make sure y'all tune in tomorrow. We're gonna be doing put everybody on the wheel. We're going to show the wheel on the screen, share the screen. That wheel's going to spin. It's going to be a random name out of the 10 people we've qualified. Whoever gets that is going to win the Ayo Dosumnu jersey. So shout out to y'all for tuning in and rocking with us, man. Let's go to the phone lines, man, because we got some people that want to talk Bulls. Shout out to y'all for pulling up, man. Couple questions we've had this morning. Could the Bulls lose Levine to the Lakers? And what direction should the Bulls go if Zach does leave? Let's go out to the phones. We got Robert Schwartz on the line, man. Robert called in and showed love over on Locked On, man. So shout out to him, man. What's going on, Robert?
What's good, Pat?
How you feeling, man?
I'm feeling good. I just want to salute you guys. That show yesterday was phenomenal with Stacey King. He is one of the all-time great Bulls announcer and a Bulls player.
Yeah, 100%. I love Stacey. I love how he talked about how he had to. He came in. Yep. Must forget, like he was a dog in college, and he came in and essentially was a role player.
Yep. And this is what the Bulls are missing is a guy like Stacey King. If we can get a guy like that coming off the bench, say like a Bobby Portis, for example. I'm not, he was a good Bull, and I missed him. They should never traded him, but that was the clown era of Garp Paxson, and it's a different era because I think AK is going to do something that's we're going to all scratch our heads like, oh my God, how did he pull this off?
Yeah,
because I don't know if it's the guy down in Utah, but they're having little words down there in Utah. They're about to blow that up. So you could probably get a couple pieces down there, and you need, like everybody said in the chat, and you guys said, and even Stacey, we need a shooter.
Yeah, that
can shoot the three real good, and then you need a guy coming off the bench that can do a little of both defense and offense, game. Like Patrick Williams, I agree with Stacey. This kid's going to be a phenomenal player. He just got to work on his shot. You can't be scared. That was the problem with the Bulls against Milwaukee. They were scared when they were passing the ball around, well, should I take the 3 or should I drive? No. If you're wide open, they're going to give you the 3. Take it.
Yeah.
And if it's going to make it. You're going to make it. And the other thing I didn't like, if you guys are going to shoot the 3, get the offensive rebound. That's how you're going to beat the Milwaukee Bucks, is getting more boards. They're sitting there, down there, okay, I'm going to go back on defense. No. How I played, and it was teached to me, you shoot the ball, you get the rebound. That's how you're going to beat teams like that. Even Phoenix. I watched Phoenix, they got all rim protectors. And that's what we need. We need rim protectors.
Yeah.
And everybody was sitting there talking about Vucevic. No. That was the first domino to fall, like Stacey said. When they traded for Vucevic, they saw something in him. And he has his up games and down games, but he's one person. It takes 5 people to make a team. And
100%.
That's what
100%. No, definitely agree with you. Appreciate you for calling in and showing love as always, Robert. Stay safe out there, all right, man?
One more thing.
What's good with you?
The draft pick.
Uh-huh.
I've been hearing Joker's brother that's coming out. How do you feel about the Bulls drafting him?
I'm always leery on brothers. I'm not gonna lie to you, because you always hold them to this a different standard. Appreciate the call as always, man.
Yep, me too.
I'm always leery on brothers. It's like, it's Jokic's brother. Does he play like Jokic? He's got the same last name. Oh, okay. Sonny in the chat. Sonny, appreciate the love as always. Sending in the super chat. Says, what's good, Pat the Designer? Hello from Alaska. Y'all don't know, Sonny always listens in from Alaska. Shout out to him. My question is, I think we need shooters, and in my opinion, I don't think Zach is not worth the max, but he is the next level below. Sign and trade. No. I think Zach Levine is here. You offer him a deal to be here. If Zach doesn't want to be here, then you find a way to sign and trade him because you can get the most money, right? Or you can get the most capital back for him. You can get the most in, hey, if we go out and we get if we sign you to a $210 million deal, I can go out here and I can make some contracts work for bigger and better players. But it's a tough evaluation to make. It's a bird in the hand versus 2 in the bush, right? We know what we have in Zach Levine. Unless you're going to go out there and get somebody that we've seen have consistent production, that is a top-level player, at a minimum, a top-level, you probably trade Zach for rim protection, right? I would think. Because then you can actually have guys play their position. You move DeMar to the 2. You move Lonzo, or Lonzo's your point. You move Patrick Williams to your 3. You find you a 4 in the trade, and then you go out and you get Nikola Vucevic as your 5, right? I would feel like that would be the move. But are you going to find that guy? Are you going to get that guy in a trade that's going to be equal to production that Zach Levine gives you? Because remember, on 80% of a knee, Zach Levine was 24, 7, and 8. Couldn't have been that much. What was he? Let me look up Zach's stats. I know it was 24. There ain't no way he averaged 7 because I just said Lonzo averaged the second highest rebounds on the team. Let's see. Player stats here. Zach Levine was 24, 4 and 4, basically. 4.6, 4.5. 24, 4 and 4 on 80% of a knee. Or on 50% of a knee. That's a very different level player at 100%. That's a different level player at 100%. And that's why you're even asking the question, right? Like, what direction do the Bulls go? Do you go young if Zach Levine wants a trade? Do you say, okay, listen, now Zach Levine's not here. We're still going to be competitive, but a lot is dependent on Patrick Williams developing. If Patrick Williams is developing and moving in the right direction, we need to find pieces that we can put around him. Do you go to the point where you get young guys that are coming up in the NBA that could be role players? And in my situation, right, the topic of this video, that takes the Lakers out of it. Who you going to send me, Malik Monk? What's the point of trading for Zach Levine if you're going to send me Malik Monk? What's the point of moving on off of Zach Levine if you're going to send me a player that makes Zach Levine even better? Right? So that's kind of what it comes down to with it to me. Like, are you going to be able to find pieces in places that are going to move the Bulls in the right direction if Zach Levine does decide to leave? And I think it's here's the thing, right? It's Zach's decision. It's not the decision of the organization. The organization is going to throw him his money. Understand, if Zach Levine is traded, then it's going to be because Zach Levine doesn't want to be in Chicago anymore. And listen, that may be a hard pill to swallow, but that could be a reality at the end of it. I don't believe it is. I don't believe that Zach Levine wants to leave. I don't believe that Zach Levine isn't bought into what the Chicago Bulls are doing right now. And I don't believe that Zach Levine wants to start over. Wherever he's going, he's starting over. Right? Whatever team he goes to, they're not going to be at the level that this team is currently at. Now, going to the Lakers, would it be different? Yeah. Would Zach Levine fit a heck of a lot better with LeBron James than the pieces they got around him right now? Yeah. But does that make you a championship team right away? And you can't just send me pieces to send me pieces. That's just not how it works. You can't just send me pieces to say, oh, yeah, we'll send you Russell Westbrook and we'll send you. Nah, what am I doing with Russ? I have 2 point guards on my team. The one thing Stacey said that I thought was really interesting yesterday, and we'll get back to your calls in a second here, but the one thing Stacey said that I thought was really interesting yesterday was he said, like Kid has said on this show many a times, too many guards. Where's your backup small forward? Where's your backup power forward? Where's your backup center? We had that guy, but he was kind of trash. Too many guards. How do you build out your team fully if you bring back a Russell Westbrook? Like, there's nothing you're going to send me for the most part that's on the Lakers that I'm like, no, I'd send you Zach. You know what you're going to say? Send me LeBron. You can call it trading your soul, call it trade, whatever you want. Send me LeBron. You send me LeBron, I'll send you Zach. You know why? Because LeBron's still 36-something points a game. What was LeBron averages? LeBron was ridiculous this year. LeBron was one of the best players in the NBA this season. What did he average this year? 30 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists. He's 36. Am I trading youth for a top level player in the NBA? You're dang right. But you know what? Everybody on this team keeps saying the same thing. Listen to those exit interviews. Listen to those exit interviews. They're not talking about Zach Levine. Zach's got to be a part of it, of course. But everybody kind of talks about the same thing. Patrick's got to figure it out. Stacey talked about it. Patrick's got to figure it out. Patrick's got to figure out what's going to be next. Patrick's got to. Every interview, you hear Patrick Williams' name mentioned. AK, Billy Donovan, DeMar DeRozan. Patrick's coming with me this offseason. Zach Levine. Every interview. Because everybody on that team believes that kid is better than what he's shown right now. Everybody on that team, when they see the flashes, they're like, that's the kid. That's the kid we need. So I'll tell you this right now. You want to make a trade? Sure. Send me Zach Levine, or send me LeBron James for Zach Levine. Because if AK's convictions are as strong as he says, LeBron James is going to be the best thing that can happen to Patrick Williams because he's going to teach him how to do it. He's going to teach him how to grow into that body. He's going to teach him how to play through that. At a minimum, right? Like, if Patrick Williams is going to become any sort of player near what LeBron has been, you got to pay Patrick Williams to be that. Or you got to pay somebody that can show him how to be that. If you don't think Billy Donovan is that level of coach, guess what? Put LeBron James on that team. Now all of a sudden, Billy Donovan's coach of the year. Because he's not a dumb coach. He just didn't have the players that were ready for that moment. But again, listen, here's the crazy part. The Lakers might do it on some like, dog, we so sick of having you shape our team, bro. Like, just go. What if they did, right? What if they were just like, I'm tired. I'm sick of this. Just go. That would be wild, bro. LeBron James would have played for 3 major franchises in this NBA. That's wild. 4 major franchises in this NBA. My bad, Sonny. I didn't even read the super chat yet. Let's go to the super chat from Sonny, man. Shout out to y'all for showing love. We're going to get back to these callers as well. Going out, Sonny says, I also don't want to lose Zach. I love him. I only say this because of his knee issues. In my opinion, I see him staying. And would you trade Vooch? I wouldn't trade Vooch. Unless you're getting a similar level player back. Y'all have heard me say, I would absolutely trade Vooch for Rudy Gobert. Because what wins you championships? Transcendent level players. Rudy Gobert's defense is transcendent level. And Rudy Gobert scores like 15 points on like 6 shots. Making like 4 of them. He's efficient. He doesn't take a lot of shots. When he does take more shots, you know what you see from him? Like 27 points a game. It's crazy. I would trade him for a transcendent level player, but I wouldn't trade him for a player of equal value because that doesn't move me forward. John Davis with the super chat. Shout out to you, bro. Says, you pay Zach whatever he wants. In my opinion, every single team in the league would jump at a chance to have Zach on their team. He's earned it. I mean, obviously. I think the Bulls will pay Zach no matter whatever he wants, right? But I think the flip side of that is other teams would jump at the opportunity to pay Zach because they're getting Zach at a much lower number. You're not getting Zach at $210 million. You're getting Zach at $180. That's a very different contract. It's a very different contract. Let's go out to the phones, man. We got Cornelius calling in, man. He said he wants to talk about, he says, congrats, Pat, and Raiders football. I don't even know how this fits in, but I got to hear it because it's Cornelius. He be in the chat. Cornelius, what's going on with you, my boy?
Hey, man. I just want to congrats you.
How you feeling, my boy?
Oh, man, I'm feeling great, man. You know, I'm just calling congrats you, man. And that was a great show with Stacey, man. And
bless
you know what I mean? This show keep on going, man. 13 is just getting started. You just getting started, King.
I appreciate you, my boy. I appreciate you.
Hey, but you know me as a Breeze fan aficionado.
Go ahead, give me the Raiders call. Give me the Raiders.
So you already know. I got my bone to pick with you. You know, the little hate that you got on my boys.
Hey, man.
But hey, man, like I said, to the chat and all the Bears fans, y'all should be bowing out to me, to my Raiders, because we the reason why y'all got a chance up in that NFC North. We got that boy up out of there. You know what I'm saying? If it wasn't for us crossing that boy, Mr. Adams, to come to the Raiders, would nobody be talking about how open that NFC North. He would have signed that deal. It would have still been Packers and everybody else.
Hey,
and
man.
The other thing is, we already know, like you said, we gonna be fourth, Pat. We gonna be fourth.
It's a lot of tough competition over there, my boy. Devontae Adams got. Listen. I love what y'all have built, but let's be real. Derek Carr got to stay upright, and it's a lot of great pass rushers in y'all division right now.
Oh, and that's why I was about to get at you at. See, we got the best pass rush now. See, everybody wants to talk about Khalil and you know what I'm saying, Mr. Bosa, all that, but we really got the, you know what I'm saying, cream of the crop when it comes to the defensive end. We got the guy who leads sacks in 10 years, and the new guy who's going to be like the Bob Miller of our team, and Mr. Chandler Jones, you know what I'm saying? He's going to be that anchor, you know what I'm saying? And everybody know how Mad Max Crosby get down.
Yeah.
And, you know what I'm saying? So we got that on us.
I mean, that's cool. That's cool, my boy. But can you protect your quarterback? Yeah, I mean, like, are you gonna be able to stop a Nick Bosa?
Did you just see who we didn't pick? See, this is what I'm saying in the draft. So I was there. You know what I'm saying? Dripped out in that new Devontae jersey. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, man.
You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I had to wait all the way to the 90th pick. And I already knew, I said, hey, man, we got to go around on this. I don't want nothing else, all the Raiders fans, we said. And that's exactly what we did. We just didn't go online. We got a guy that can play right guard, left guard, and center. And guess what? He didn't give up a sack in the last 2 years in college. So, hey, man, we go check that mark. And like I said, now the coach, that's the key. That's the whole key to it.
Hey, it's gonna be Mr.
McDaniel. Hey, man,
it's definitely gonna be interesting to see, my boy. Hey, listen, I hope your Raiders play better than my Bears probably will.
Hey, man, and this is and this is gonna be my one. This is gonna be my I'm probably shooting to the ceilings on this one. I'm probably shooting far on this one. But I'm gonna say this: my Raiders is gonna have 3,000-yard receivers this year. We're going to have, and I'm going to say it, we're going to have 3,000-yard receivers this year. It's going to be Devontae, of course. It's going to be Darren Waller. But the key that's going to be to this whole offense, the one that's going to be the new Wes Welker, and that's going to wreck the whole league, is just a Hunter Renfrow. I can't wait to see him in that Josh McDaniel offense. He ain't never had a top receiver like this. So I just can't wait, man. I can't wait.
Hey,
I can't wait, Pat.
Cornelius, I love that you hype, my boy. I love the excitement, man. Stay safe out there, man. When we get out to Vegas, we're gonna have to link up.
Hey, man, you already know, man. And shout out to you. Shout out to Reed Nation. You already know, it's C Red Nation till I die always, too. You know what I'm saying? Don't forget that. All love. And much love to you.
Hey, shout out to you, Cornelius. Yeah, the reason Cornelius rocks with the show is because he is a diehard Bulls fan. And the funny thing about Cornelius is when he's in here, bro, like he'll be in the chat and we'll be talking Bears, but he's still here. He just be like, I'm going to just trash talk the Bears. So I love it, dog. I ain't going to lie to you. I have a lot of fun with that. Hey, shout out to everybody who's pulled up for the daily show, man. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page. We do talk Chicago sports daily on this channel. It's the only channel talking Chicago sports, how Chicago talk. So make sure that you get in tune with us, man. Also, let me pull this up here. My bad, y'all. I've been tweaking on this the last couple of episodes. Because we do have the Discord cracking. I ain't gonna lie to you. The Discord be jumping during the live show. We get a lot of comments into the Discord, so I am going to post the link here in the Discord. It is a lifetime link, all that good stuff. It's also over in the community tab, so tune in with that as well. But join up in the Discord, man, because there's a lot of good commentary over there. You can hear from Baki, you can hear from me, you can hear from P Kid, and it's just a way to kind of talk to us when we not on the mic, when we not sitting here, right in front of you. So join up in the Discord as well. Let me pin that to the top of the dig here. Can I do that in here? I don't know if I can do that in here. I know I can do it over here. Don't worry about it. Tune in with that, man. We appreciate all the love that you guys have shown and all the support that you guys continue to show to the channel, man. Let me make sure I pin this here. Oh, I'm on the wrong. You did. Bow. But as we're heading into the second hour of the show, not only are we going to continue to talk about our teams, but also we want to kind of look around the NBA playoffs. Because here's the thing, right? It's all about how we match up versus other teams in the playoffs. That's what it comes down to. No matter what we do, it's all about how we match up against other teams in the playoffs. Oh, that's also what I was going to do. This is Baki's scenario in the Discord, man. He said, so the trade scenario that I would have if Zach wants to be a Laker, I would do a sign and trade for AD, THT, and their first round pick. But I would only do that deal if I have another deal in place to trade both our first round and the first round pick I got from the Lakers, along with Kobe and Vooch, to Portland for Dame, and then have a starting lineup of Dame, Lonzo, DeMar, P. Will, and AD. It's the only way I would even consider letting Zach go, and even doing that might not be enough for me, but that's the only scenario that would make me think on it. Outside of that, I ain't letting Zach go. No, listen, that's an excellent point. It's an excellent breakdown of it. I feel like it's a good assessment of the kind of level of talent you would need back, right? Like, you're not sending me one-legged Anthony Davis for nothing. But again, that goes against what AK is talking about. If Zach Levine wants to leave, it's going to be because Zach Levine wants to leave. What AK has talked about the entire time has been what? Continuity. He wants continuity. He wants to have his team playing with the same guys on a consistent basis. He talked about how everybody on his team, or all the teams that we faced, have been together 3 to 5 years. All the teams we would face, Bucks, played them 3 to 5 years. What are they? 4 years, right? 4 years for the Bucks, minus Drew Holiday. Celtics for 3 years, right? 3 years, 4 years, maybe 4. I think 3 because Jaylen Brown is after Jason Tatum. Miami, 3 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, all the teams that we feel like would be threats, and the teams that we don't feel like are threats, guess what? They're in the same boat as us. Philly's not a threat. Philly's not a threat. James Harden's the third best option on a good basketball team. James Harden's the third best option on a good basketball team. And guess what? He's the third best option on a bad basketball team, if y'all watched that Philly game last night. So, I don't know. I'm out on Harden. I'm out, like, Philly to me, that's the same kind of team, right? The teams that don't have that kind of. Guess what? Guess why we thought Toronto would upset Philly? Because they've been together. They've got continuity. They understand how each other play. Guess why we thought Atlanta had a chance to make the series with Miami competitive? Because they've been together. They went to an Eastern Conference Finals last year. They've got continuity. Continuity is very important in the NBA, and it's something that you want to it's something that you want to have, man, honestly. Hey, we got to tell you about a sponsor for the show, though. We're going to pay some bills real quick. We still got a couple of calls in the queue. We're going to get to you guys as well. We see you guys over there. Also, at 12:15, we're going to be giving away the second and final spot for the Ayo Dosumnu jersey. We're going to be giving that jersey away tomorrow. We've got 10 names that we're going to put into a hopper. That mug's going to spin. It's going to pick the name live on air. It is a random, you dig. It's literally just from a website. It's nothing that we can control. So whichever name it lands on, you will win the Ayo Dosumnu jersey. Shout out to y'all. Appreciate y'all for showing love. We did hit 13K, but hey, we do got to tell you guys about Blue Chew. Listen, they always say first impressions are what's important. What about a lasting impression? Guys, that confidence can take you far in life, right? It can help you in the bedroom, especially when it comes time to step up to the plate. And listen, that's why we've got this episode sponsored by Blue Chew. Blue Chew is a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, but in chewable tablets and at a fraction of the cost. Come on now. You can take them anytime, day or night, so you can plan ahead or be ready whenever the opportunity arises. You know what I'm saying? The process is simple. You sign up at BlueChew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days. The best part, it's all done online. No doctor's visits, no awkward conversation, no waiting in line at the pharmacy. Blue Chew tablets are made in the US of A. So here's the best part about that. They're prepared and shipped direct to your door in a discreet package. You don't want nobody knowing what's going on with your business, man. So if you could benefit from a little bit of extra confidence in the bedroom, make sure that you use the promo code Windy City, because that's the deal we've got in place for you, and you pay just $5 in shipping. That's BlueChew.com, promo code Windy City to receive your first month free. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And we'd like to thank Blue Chew for sponsoring the show. As we welcome in the pettiest man alive, Mr. P. Kid. What's going on with you, my boy?
Pat out here giving third arm salutes.
Not at all. That seems like a personal thing for you. Not at all.
I'm out here feeling like straight dog crap, so I'm gonna give you a few minutes. I'm gonna get in, get out.
What's going on with the Elmer Fudd Thriller jacket, though?
Hey man, it's an Elmer Fudd Thriller jacket.
That's hey, Steve-O said P Kid snuck up in here. P Kid hears the call of Blue Chew and he's like, it's my time.
My time to shine. On the rise.
Hey, shout out to P Kid, man. He's always going hard. Nah, man, as we get into this, as we get on the other side of this, something that I thought was interesting to look at. And we are going to be giving away the Ayo Dosumnu jersey, or qualifying for that second spot at 12:15. So call into the show, 855-908-5668. The last and final spot for the Ayo Dosumnu jersey. So call in now. Get your spot saved now. Let's say it's an Ayo Dosumnu jersey. We'll go to caller number 12. Shout out to y'all, man. Call into the show. When you look at the teams that are in the playoffs right now.
Oh, wait. Clap it up.
Clap it up.
If we're giving away a jersey, that means we hit 13,000.
We did hit 13,000, my boy. We definitely hit 13,000. Good to know you listen. We'll be doing that tomorrow, by the way. Here's my question. What do we have to do as we see what's in the NBA playoffs right now to get us closer to that level if Zach Levine leaves? Now, these are all hypotheticals. This is all, it's off-season talk, whatever. These are all hypotheticals, right? I don't think Zach Levine leaves. But is there a scenario that gets you closer to that situation quicker?
Say that one more time.
So essentially, if Zach says, hey, I want to go to the Lakers, or more so, I think the Lakers is a stupid long shot. But say Zach Levine says, I want to go down to San Antonio and play with DeJounte Murray. Is there a scenario where the Bulls can get closer to playoff contention or closer to what we're seeing as a competitive level in the playoffs by making a sign and trade for Zach Levine and getting something back? Is it just all based on development from P. Will? Is it all based on getting a star level player back, right? Because if he wants to go to the Spurs, you're not going to get a star level player back in that situation.
You know, I'm going to be like hypercritical and a little off topic from the team that you mentioned, and briefly address Lakers rumors and stuff like that. Two things are true. Zach is a heck of a talent. And Zach has toughed out this year, and we respect it. He's gritted, he's grinded. But Zach was a shell of himself this year, and especially the second half of this year. And while I know that is revered as, oh, look at what's possible, look at what he's done, look at the mentality, that kind of died 10 years ago. I want you to understand that the way that the game is played now, how fast paced it is and stuff like that, if you're hurt, go get surgery, because we need you 110% at what we expect you to be, not what you think you are. Not like that died with that's a hard segment right there. Like Kobe was the last person to do that, and it didn't help him toward the end of his career. Toward the end of his career, Kobe was a shell of himself. And he's had, now mind you, Achilles is a whole different thing, and technology is, but he was a shell of himself.
Yeah.
It's not worth it in that sense. So like, no, you can't. We need to stop that, for one. For two, also look at the circumstances around it. AD being hurt this year were two situations that completely had nothing to do with his actual health. There were circumstances that he couldn't avoid. You can't avoid twisting your ankle coming down off an injury. You can't avoid some 250-pound dude getting pushed into your knee. You can't avoid that, right? That's not me not being healthy and not wanting to be on the court. That's me being in a situation where unfortunate circumstances happened. Zach has a knee injury that's totally dependent on how his body holds up. Totally different injury. It may not be catastrophic. It may not be that bad, but it's a totally different circumstance. So with that being the case, now I'm looking at it as, what does that look like? Is he on the physical? Is he going to be okay physically, or is he starting a physical decline? It's very possible for him to start doing that. So fully healthy, AD is the better player right now.
I think fully healthy, both of them are the better player. But the thing with AD, whether the injuries were on him or not this season, it's still AD's never been durable.
No, don't. Your opinion, I respect it. Right now, fully healthy, and 100% of them 100% healthy right now, AD's the better player. AD's the better player on the Bulls.
No,
that's my opinion, right?
I agree with you. There's AD's a top big man in the NBA. He get cooked by Embiid every time, but he's a top big man in the NBA when he's healthy. And when he's 80% of himself, he's still a top big man in the NBA. But I also can't overlook the fact that AD's also had a lot of the same injuries that Zach Levine has had, and AD weighs a lot more, putting a lot more pressure on those injuries. And he's had he's had multiple knee surgeries at this point, right?
I don't know if he's had multiple.
I thought he had one in New Orleans and one the year they won the championship. Wasn't he coming back from knee, or was that bad?
I think it was just a strain. I think it was
MCL
strain.
The fact that we going this far,
yeah.
Was it back, knee, elbow, ankle?
Here's the reason why I say all that, right? I think sometimes we overvalue. I don't want to say overvalue. We undervalue what AD is, and we overvalue what Zach is. Like, I've seen people say, AD in a player, you crazy. Like, stop it. Like, that's not going to happen. You're going to get AD straight up if you make that move. If Zach wants to be in LA, you're getting AD straight up.
I don't think so, because I think they're desperate. Because I think Rob Pelinka, and I think there's two options, right? We're going to get rid of as much as we can, and we're not going to get a ton of value back for it. Or, Brian, you got to run this back. And I think the Genie Bus, and I think Rob Pelinka, and I think they both will be like, yep, this on you. Deal with it. Guess what you got to do next year? Your shooting guard is Russell Westbrook. Figure it out. We'll get you a coach. We hope y'all can figure it out together. We will absolutely be here a lot longer than you will, and we will take 1 year of you struggling.
I can see them shipping Russ out for a bunch of forwards from New York. I can see them shipping out AD for a potential Zach in a sign and trade and building around LeBron that way, and absolutely being back in the playoff contention if LeBron can be LeBron. Like the contracts that we talking about that people say are unmoved or immovable, they're not. They're not.
Yeah, but you also have to trade. You also have to have a trade.
Some teams out there that's going to take them contracts.
It's not about having the contract. It's about, is the contract worth the player? With what you saw last season, is Russell Westbrook worth $47 million coming in?
I got to pay him $47 million for 1 year, and I got some people I'm trying to unload. New York is absolutely in that situation. Yeah, he's worth $47 million to unload and deal with for a year. And
he got an NTC?
Say that again.
Russ has a no trade clause, don't he?
Russ, by all accounts, is trying to get so far away from LA. He would probably go to Canada at this point.
Look, I don't know if he's trying to get New York far from LA.
He would probably go to Canada at this point.
Look, there's limits to where I'm trying to go. I'll go anywhere, just not the Knicks.
It's not the Knicks. Huh? Like Russ is trying to get out of LA. I don't care what nobody says.
Here's an interesting one. Here's an interesting trade scenario, right? Randomly, since we brought up Russ. Could you see where the Lakers were in on Ben Simmons early? He's got to have back surgery now. Could you see a pairing again of KD and Russ, knowing now that Kyrie's your two guard?
No. I wouldn't even do that.
I feel like that wouldn't be bad. Especially at this point where Russ is like, I want to. Russ at this point in seasons looked like, please, I'm trying to pass the ball. Like, why do y'all keep giving it back to me?
I think because it puts Ben in an interesting situation unless you use him as the 4.
No, Ben's got to go. Ben's in the trade. You trading Ben back. He's the only one that you would have to trade Ben and somebody else.
Trade Ben back to LA
because we already know that Brooklyn Brass was like, dog, we just traded for you and you gave us absolutely nothing. What the heck's going on?
Brooklyn won that trade. I don't care what nobody say.
Mental health. Hey, listen. At this point, I don't think nobody won the trade. James Harden is awful.
James Harden is awful. Ben Simmons, 50% of Ben Simmons, if he's on the floor as from a defensive presence, is better than what James Harden produces. Steph Curry, when he's not injured, is better. And the Andre Drummond thing, if they actually did they get Drummond? Was it Drummond? Yeah, they got Drummond. If Steve Nash actually learns, well, Steve Nash didn't have much time to work him into a system. They won that trade. Plus, they got picks. People keep forgetting the picks they got. They sent 3 players in a pick.
They just got the one.
I thought they got 2.
I think they just got the one.
Even if they just got 1, they got 3 players in a pick.
You gonna move it for a player, but the problem is, what player can you move it for, right? Like you have 3 players on your team that make $40 million.
The Nets are going to be set. They got 3 knockdown shooters next to Kyrie and KD. Joe Harris is coming back. Steph Curry is coming back. Patty Mills is a knockdown shooter. Dragic, I don't know what's happening with Dragic, but he's a knockdown shooter and he's a scorer when he needs to. They just needed time. But the Sixers, that's a whole different thing. But as far as like how Zach plays into that, I can see Zach in a LA jersey. Ultimately, that's where his home is, stuff like that. It's his first free agency. He may want to go back. LeBron is not going to be in LA for the next 10 years. I mean, there's absolutely opportunity for him to be a hometown kid and not hometown. He's from Seattle, but closer to home. In the team that he likes.
I don't know if Zach grew up a Lakers fan.
I mean, that's he lives out there, right? He lives in LA, right?
I believe either LA or Seattle. He might have a house in both. He got a lot of money.
He don't have a house in Chicago. That's the one thing we do know. He sold it.
No, I think did he sell it?
He sold it.
Okay.
He sold it 2 years ago. I don't know if it's weird that we know when these mocks sell houses.
Huge houses moving. And anytime somebody sell a house, it's like, is he leaving? Oh God.
Yeah, hey, so I can see him going back out west. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I wouldn't be mad if he did.
Yeah.
I really wouldn't. I wouldn't be mad if he did.
I wouldn't. You know what? At this point, right, it would be the bigger thing for me is knowing that AK offered him the contract.
That's all he can do.
That's the biggest thing for me. If we get to a point where we're like, hey, like AK didn't even offer him a deal, it's like, okay,
That's all he can do.
Now we got a problem.
I agree with that. And you know what? You have to think about it like this. As far as progression and stuff like that, maybe he wants to play with a legendary player and pick up what that is and get that experience. You know, you look at what playing with a legendary player has done for Devin Booker. I know it's a point guard, but it's just the experience.
Yeah.
You know, Devin Booker has totally elevated his game. I looked at him last night. I was like, man, if he don't look like young Kobe, I don't know who does right now, because that man was on fire.
Boy, I'll tell you this right now, though. I'll tell you this right now, boy.
Because you know I hate making that comparison. I hate making that comparison. But he looked good.
I'll tell you this right now. By the way, call into the show right now. We're going to be doing this giveaway. We're going to be picking caller number 12, 855-908-5668, 855-908-5668. Caller into the show right now. Caller 12, you will get the opportunity to qualify to win the Ayo Dosumnu jersey. Bruh. Well, I said this on Locked On NBA yesterday. I don't know if the Suns would beat the Bucks again or would lose it. I don't know if the Suns could beat the Bucks, because I feel like at a certain point, right, like you even out. Who's the better player, Devin Booker or Giannis? I would go Giannis. But
just all around player for what he can do. He's a better player.
When you look at just like Devin effortlessly hooping anybody you put on him. There was one play, it was legitimately a Kobe play. They sent the double team with backside help. That's called a triple team, my boy. That man said jab, step, turn around, fade, pull up, mid-range, cash, and ran down the court and did that. I said, did you just get reincarnated and just come back as, like, what was that? I ain't seen nobody pull that move off.
The elevation, how smooth it was. I rewound a couple plays he had in the paint falling away where I thought he got fouled. Just killing it. And every time I sit there and I look at him and Chris Paul doing what, by the way, Chris Paul, practically the same age as LeBron, 28 points last night. Good Lord. Putting on a clinic, right?
They had no answers.
They had on a clinic. Oh man, I would have loved to see that 10 years ago. I really would have. Here's the thing. Here's the whole reason why we even bring it up. Maybe Zach wants the opportunity to be around that level of talent to elevate his game, because everyone had someone like that in their corner to help them elevate. Kobe absolutely sought out Mike. First game, how you do this, how you do that. So
you know what? Is it
the stories Mike tell him about him bugging him 2:00 in the morning? Dog,
is it the same situation this far in his career though? Zach's 9 years in the league at this point. I think this will either be his 9th or his 10th year, one or the other. At this point, right? Like I think what we discount is that Zach Levine was a 49, 39, 89 player last season.
He was right outside the 90?
Came 50, 40, 90.
50, 40, 90, yeah.
But came into the NBA or came into this season absolutely heading towards that same trajectory.
Yep.
And they got hurt.
Yeah.
Like that's it. Like there's not we got to understand there's not many of those. Like we say 50, 40, 90. There's not many of those players. That's actually like Kyrie did it 2 years ago.
Kyrie almost did it this year.
He almost did it this year, but I think he did it 2 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like
last year he did it.
Last year he did it. That's a different level of player. You usually don't want to get rid of those guys, like honestly. So I think AK at a minimum is going to offer him the contract. Hey,
Stacey had already said they're going to offer it to him. So
I think that's a guarantee. But we do have to give away this final Ayo Dosumnu jersey spot. We got caller number 12 on the screen. Let's go out to the 815. Says Santiago Mendez. Santiago, what's good?
calls with Queen 8 off.
Yo, Santiago.
And Antonio immediately.
And he listening to a whole nother radio show, not even listening to us. Bogus as heck. We got Santiago going once, Santiago going twice. Sold to the man, the myth, the legend.
Sold to the man. Listening to. Hey, shout out to him for supporting multiple channels.
I like that everybody like hung up the phone because I went to Santiago. It's like he could have got the question wrong. So call back in 855-908-5668 if you want to get in on the IO Dosumnu giveaway. Buzz was like, dang it, click. Like he could have got the question wrong. Hey, Eddie was listening to a whole nother radio show.
Hey, dissed the heck out of us.
Bro, it was like, fam, so you're not even watching us. Because if you was watching us, you would have seen that we called your name. Oh, man. That's pretty
I got an alternative question real quick. This is not the question that's going to be on the thing. Y'all ready?
Go ahead with it.
What was the Jordan Rules book about?
Ain't nobody read that book. Hey, every Bulls fan in the world was just like, Jordan Rules is just knock him on his butt. It's like, no. It almost was none of that. That was in there, but it almost was none of that.
Hey, Pat, how many rings does Phil Jackson have?
6, 11, 12. No. 13. No, 12, right? He got 13. He got 2 with the Knicks.
I was about to say, you ain't getting no jersey.
No, he got 2 with the Knicks. No, I knew. Everybody always forget. That's how long ago the Knicks won, my boy. Hey, call into the show 855-908-5668. We're gonna keep it pushing. Everybody got off, so whenever y'all call back,
Cornelius said 9. God, kid, Cornelius ain't getting that jersey either. Good Lord, hey, what you missed? First of all, how did you get 9? 6 with Mike, 5 with the Lakers.
Yeah, that math ain't mathing, my boy.
That math ain't mathing, baby. What's going on?
My boy, he got 9. Oof.
It's definitely 13, my boy. I said 13. Rings, the coach and player. But getting back to the topic at hand, as we get back to the 12th caller. I know this is all speculative. I expect us to still have Zach within the building, but if not, I'm not opposed to AD being in a Bulls jersey, simply because you can't deny that level of talent. 24 point double. With a mid-range threat. He does have a decent mid-range. We forget that. Like he's a really, really good big man. Like
I don't think
he's just not a traditional big man.
I don't think anybody. No, he's a point guard that's 7 feet tall.
He's not even a point guard to me. You know who he is? He's a small forward he's a stretch 3.
That man is a straight up point guard. You be watching AD handle the ball. I'd be like, oh yeah, he did play point most of his life. Yeah. like y'all gotta understand, he ain't been a big man for more than he's been in the NBA. 1 year more than he's been in the NBA. That's how long Anthony Davis has been a big man. The problem with me is like 60. Here's my thing. At this point, right, 60 plus games is not bad. 60 plus games means you went through some minor nicks and things like that. You went to
that's his average, 60 games.
His average probably, I don't know if I'd say that's his average. 64, 67, 68, 61, 75, 2 years with the Pelicans, 56. This is the problem. The last 4 seasons, 56, 62 that first year with the Lakers, 36 and 40 the last year.
Now remember, one of those years was shortened.
Well, this is including playoffs. So 62 is the bubble year. So he had what did we end up playing? I think we ended up playing
40, the
50 games before the number.
How many games was in the bubble year?
I think we played 50 before we got to the bubble because we got past All-Star break because All-Star was here in Chicago. We got past the All-Star break. And then we got to and then we went into COVID after that, and we never came out, and we went to the bubble. So, I mean, I think there was 8 games when you got to the bubble. and he played 62 games at that point. So, and that's including finals. He
didn't play 82 games that year.
No, we didn't play 82.
And they won so he was there all playoffs because he carried the Lakers all playoffs up until the finals.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So he played all of those.
I'm like repeating it, so I'm mentally trying to jog it because I'm like, I know that, like, to say that when you look at it, like, oh, he wasn't available, and then I thought about it, I was like, well, maybe he was, because even
he definitely had the injury. It was either a shoulder or it was the knee day. He definitely had an injury going into that.
Now we can look up his injury
because he was good, but he was definitely good because 72 games playoffs plus the playoffs in the bubble.
So if he played 60 games, then he only missed 12. Because the what you're looking at when you look at the games played,
72 games plus the playoffs.
No, it's plus the playoffs. So when you look at any stat, when they say games played, normally they break up regular season from playoffs. It's a different stat you have to look up. I did make that mistake many times.
You are right.
So we know he was there for the playoffs. And so realistically, he missed what, 12 games that season?
12 games. Yeah. I wasn't even counting that season. I was more so looking at the last two, 32 and 40.
Well, I count that season simply because, that's what he gets critiqued on. It's like, oh, he wasn't available that season. It was like, well, he missed 12 games.
Yeah.
Okay, he missed 12 games, but are we gonna forget he dominated most of the year?
No, I don't even,
and it's not you. Like, we got a lot of, like, Chuck will sit there calling, day-to-day Davis or street clothes. And I mean, it's a funny line, but in all actuality,
he's street clothes. That's Baki's.
Day-to-day Davis. Yeah. Okay.
Well, I mean, listen though, 36 and 40 and not being available for the playoffs is a lot. Now, granted, this year they didn't make the playoffs, but last year, they made the play-in. Was he? He didn't play in that game, I don't believe, right? I don't think Anthony Davis played in the play-in game last year. I think that was one of the key reasons why Brian ends up getting smoked. You know what I'm saying? So for me, listen, it's the same thing with basketball, football, baseball, no matter what it is. Eloy Jimenez is pissing me off right now on the White Sox. He's got all the ability in the world, but the best ability is availability. If you're not available, and the thing is with big men, when you start seeing declines like that, you rarely see it come back. When you start seeing big time miss for these guys, you rarely see it come back. And so if Anthony Davis is that level of player that it can come back with, I'd love him in a Bulls jersey. He's a great player. But is he going to be that level of player? I don't mind you missing. 20 games ain't nothing to me. Brian used to miss 20 games going on vacation in the middle of the season.
Oh, yeah, he had to go get that re-up in Miami. Everybody forgets that. Man couldn't dunk in Cleveland, goes away for 2 weeks, comes back, and his head is above the rim. I'm not trying to say he juiced. I ain't saying he juiced. I'm just saying Barry Bonds is out of the Hall of Fame for a lot less.
Well, not really. Barry Bonds is out of the Hall of Fame. And the only reason I'm against that is because there was nothing ever proven on Barry Bonds, but I wouldn't say it's a lot less.
Hey, what proof you got that man juiced?
Oh, man.
Besides the dramatic weight gain.
No, the dramatic head increase. That man
whole side profile changed.
I'm not fully convinced Peyton Manning didn't juice. I ain't gonna lie to you, dog. You look at that man rookie year. How your brain get long? Hey, man, we gonna try and get his jersey away for the second time. Let's go out to this caller here. Hopefully a diehard Bulls fan, man. This question, I don't know if this question shouldn't be hard if you watch.
Hey, we ain't never getting no guests no more since we talking about juicing.
Well, probably not. No, we get to guess the juiced. Hey, those are the guys I want to talk to anyway. Hey,
Sammy,
we got Mark McGuire on the podcast, right?
Like, I would want to talk to Sammy Sosa so bad.
Sammy never had a proven test either. Sammy got caught corking his bat about 37 times.
Yeah, what was with that, Sammy?
Hey, Sammy was a bad cheater. I ain't gonna lie to you. Let's go out to the 708, man. Let's see if we can get his jersey away. We got Nick on the line. He's calling 12 again. Technically calling 24 because, But Nick, what's going on, man? Oh, Lord, here we go. Nick, you there? Hello?
Hello?
Oh, there we go. Nick, what's going on, man?
It's actually McSeason.
Oh, is this McSeason?
Yes, sir.
McSeason, what's going on with you, my guy? How you feeling, man?
I'm chilling. I'm playing some Call of Duty this show, so I'm just having a good day off.
Your phone ain't. But hey, man, we gonna see if we can get this. We gonna see if we can get this question off for you, man. And McSeason should know. Here's the thing. Now I feel confident about him getting the question. Don't let me down here, McSeason. Because I know for a fact he was in here all season. So here's the question: DeMar DeRozan is the first player to ever hit back-to-back game winners on 2 different days in 2 different years. Who were the 2 teams that he hit those game winners on?
It was Indiana Pacers and the Washington Wizards.
Boom! McSeason's in the hopper. Shout out to you, McSeason. Make sure you tune in. You tune in every day. I ain't got to worry about you, my boy. But make sure you tune in tomorrow, man. We're going to be giving away this Dosumnu jersey to 1 person tomorrow. McSeason, shout out to you, man. Stay safe out there. Hope you get some dubs on Call of Duty over there, my boy.
Thank you. Peace out.
Peace out, man. Peace out. Peace out. Hey, man. Hey, we got 2 people. We got all 10 people qualified. You know what that means, man. You know what that means. We got 13,000 subscribers in the building, man. We got 13,000 subs. Shout out to y'all for showing so much love. Watch now all the viewers drop because everybody was just here for the giveaway. Dang it, I lost 40 people left.
Mind you, we have a list of names of people who are qualifying. You want to read off that list of names? You got it in front of you?
We got it here. It's we got Marv, Moss, Shay, James, Angel, Mike, Jeffrey, Q, Chef Mac, and of course, McSeason, who just qualified. Chef Mac and McSeason both qualifying today. Shout out to you fellas, man.
Now, mind you, these names are good. This particular name is going to be randomly chosen.
Oh, we're going to show it on the screen. I got a little you dig. I can put all the names in. It's going to spin with that money, you know what I'm saying? And then it's going to show on the screen, and whoever get picked, they get picked.
So we have no preference. We are not biased. It is what it is, man.
Hey, listen, I could care less. I just want to give y'all back something. You know what I'm saying? Y'all have shown so much support and love to the show, man. 13,000 subscribers is crazy. How many subscribers was it when you came on?
It was less than 1,000.
We were still less than 1,000 when you came on? Wow. That's crazy. We broke 10,000 during a Bears live call. Oh, no, we broke 10,000 during a Bulls post game where we got beat. I remember that. No, man.
I remember when we broke 5,000. That was an accomplishment right there.
5,000 was crazy, bro. Oh, man. Good times, man. We appreciate y'all for showing so much love to the show, man. We're going to keep it pushing, man. We want to get into a little bit of national. We got about 30 minutes left on this mug, man. And we got to talk about some of these games that we continue to see be very, very interesting. Now, there's no basketball tonight, which I feel like is a fail on the NBA's part. How we got no basketball tonight? Come on now.
Well, you know, the teams are traveling.
They both are traveling to
Boston has to travel to Milwaukee, so they get 2 days for that.
Yeah, that's true.
All the game 3s are on the opposite side of the country.
Yeah, that is true. You know, that is true. This is true. What I want to get into this, right? Because we saw the game last night. We kind of touched on it. Devin Booker cooking mugs on the Mavericks. Mavericks never really stood a shot in that. Do you feel like the Mavericks players, we saw Jalen Brunson, yo, how y'all meet P Kid and Pat?
A wild story.
That's a wild story. Hey, we'll tell that at the end. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's a good story. It involves violence and mayhem. Kind of, not really. There was potential violence and mayhem. But no, we've seen Jalen Brunson in 2 games in his playoffs shoot 9 for 28. He's 1 for 4 from the 3-point line. Spencer Dinwiddie is 6 for 18 in 2 games, which you would be like, oh, man, that's not that bad. If you look at it as the fact that he only made 3 shots in each of those games. is there a possibility for these guys to thrive and play the way that we've seen them play with Luka being as ball dominant as he is? Luka not taking a crazy amount of shots last night. I believe he only took 22 shots last night. Very, very efficient night, I mean, if we're being honest. But just, it seems like no one else is able to get going when Luka's being the scoring threat that he can be.
They're not going to win with Luka being as ball dominant as he is. In fact, if you look at why Jalen Brunson even had those monster games in the last series, half those games Luka wasn't even available. Luka came back in the middle of that series. And so if you look at how they played when he first came back, they weren't going to him as much initially, and everyone else still continued to cook and stuff like that. Now you have them pretty much playing off Luka, off the ball, which is I'm getting the ball with 11 seconds left. I got to try to make a move. I got to create the space and stuff like that. Luka plays very, very much like Giannis. Just drive and kick. Drive and kick. Only thing is he can shoot.
Yeah.
That's the only difference. And if you look at it, but he's not as physically imposing. He can't get to the cup at will at any time. So he's a lot easier to contain in that respect. I'll be honest with you. I'd play it the exact same way Boston is playing Milwaukee. I'm going to let you cook. Nobody else is going to beat me. But you can do exactly what you want to do.
I mean, that's the thing, though. Like, even with that, like, it's still the
difference in a loss is still a loss, baby.
No, the difference there is that, like, Luka isn't, like you said, as physically dominating as Giannis, and so like I can still guard Luka. I can still keep. You know what I'm saying? Like I can say there's a point, right, where like you just watching Giannis, you just like, man, that should be an offensive foul, but they ain't called it for him all season, so I don't expect it now. How you stop that, bro? Like at some point, you just got to bite his elbow or something like that. But
I used to think that excuse me, going through it right now. I used to think that he was just charging people. I had to really look at Luka. at Giannis. He's trying to actually sidestep you. He really is sidestepping.
He's just huge.
He's just freaking big. You saw the thing Scottie Pippen said
about Giannis? No, what did he say?
He said that he's too big for him. He couldn't guard him.
I can see that though. Why would you have Scottie guard Giannis? Well, I guess kind of, but like even in that situation, like, well, I guess depending on what Bulls team, but
I mean, look at who they got guarding Giannis now. I would put Scottie Pippen over anybody that got guarding Giannis now. But if Scottie's sitting there saying, "Yeah, I'm gonna have a tough time with this one," I mean, you got to give respect to where respect. And that Scottie's been up and down.
Did he say he couldn't guard him, or he would have a tough time?
He said he couldn't guard him. The quote says he couldn't guard him. Now, I've tried to fact check the quote. It seems like he actually said it.
I was going to say,
that's made up. You got me.
Yeah, couldn't guard him and tough to guard. That's two different things. Like Magic Johnson was tough to guard. He did it.
Magic Johnson was nowhere near as physically imposing as Giannis, though.
No. I'm not saying it's the same thing, but I feel like in that situation, like I don't know, like maybe what would throw Giannis off? Maybe throw Rodman on him. Rodman throws some comments about his butt, and all of a sudden he can't. Giannis can't focus.
Hey, you know the funny thing is
that was the wildest thing. Was like I threw Alonzo Mourning off by commenting on his butt.
You know the crazy thing is people keep saying, yeah, they wouldn't survive back then. Y'all do realize that if we play by those old school rules, that these new players can hit back, right? That means Giannis is definitely coming in with that shoulder, and he's already a physically imposing guy. I'm sorry. A pissed off Giannis looks like a pissed off Shaq to me right now. He's going to get his money.
The interesting thing with Giannis is, right, like Shaq's not guarding Giannis. Because to me, like how Stacey was breaking it down yesterday, he was like, he would blow past Shaq. Like Shaq wouldn't even be able to keep in front of him.
Which version of Shaq?
Orlando Shaq could keep up with him. But I'm assuming we talking Lakers Shaq, championship Shaq. But Orlando Shaq wouldn't have been, or Lakers Shaq wouldn't have been guarding him. Lakers Shaq was literally just standing in the paint most time. Like trying not to get a 3-second violation. He wasn't out at the perimeter a lot. Like he was at the perimeter when Yao Ming came into the NBA. And guess what? Those were one of the few players. And the few players that gave him issues were the 7-footers that had a back to the basket game that could step out and shoot.
Hey, Pat, you got to go back and watch that 2000 Shaq again, dog. I got to admit,
Well, he
I've
was
never seen
still
a man that big, that fast.
Yeah, no, he
outside
was
of
he was
Giannis.
still physically imposing at that point. I mean, I think when we think of Shaq on the Lakers, it's just a dude that's just like, yeah, I'm huge. Get out the way. I'm 330, 7 feet tall. I have great post moves. I have good feet. I'm a dunk on your head.
I'm gonna send you this game. I don't know which game it was, but I had to remember. You know, Shaq had to battle the Spurs when they had Tim Duncan and David Robinson. And I was like, I forgot he had to play both of them at the same time. Because realistically, the Lakers had nobody else besides Shaq down there with him.
Yeah.
And I was looking at how he was sticking them. He could bang with David Robinson, no problem. But he was sticking Tim Duncan on that high-low post very well. And I was like I was impressed with Tim Duncan and David Robinson because I'm gonna be honest with you, I never really gave them a thought. I never really gave David Robinson the respect he deserved on his career. I really did.
I feel like nobody does because it was so wasn't that short, but it was like it was short-lived almost. Like it was like David Robinson won a ring, and then Tim Duncan kept winning them without. You know what it is? That's what it is.
Tim Duncan's career up.
Tim Duncan kept winning.
Yeah.
And David Robinson, like you look at it as, oh, Tim Duncan won his first ring at this point. You don't look at it as, oh, David Robinson won his first ring with Tim Duncan. You like David Robinson was also there, and Tim Duncan won his first ring.
It's so amazing to me. Like I have to go back and look at it because I think we have to. We're bringing back Could He Play Today, and it's going to take a totally different tone now because like really looking at it, and Shaq was a lot better than I thought he was. And that's scary because I already think he's one of the most disrespected NBA legends ever. But he could do a whole lot for a man his size.
He do that to himself. He did that to himself.
Yeah, he did.
He did that to himself. Shaq will tell you he didn't want to work hard. By the time like Shaq realized nobody could stand in front of me. And nobody could stand in front of him. Like it's not nothing crazy, but like if Shaq continued to like, no, I want to stay in Orlando shape. If he had continued to do that, Shaq would have been I fully believe Shaq would have been the best player in the NBA.
You know what's funny?
Ever. Because Shaq had the dream shape. Shaq had the hook shot. Shaq could run the floor just like Giannis. This is the thing. Giannis is going to probably go down and has the opportunity based on how many rings he wins to be the best player in the NBA of all time. He absolutely has that opportunity. Whether he does that or not, that's a very different conversation. But he has the opportunity to because he's that level of player, and there's nothing he can. If he adds a jump shot, there's nothing he can't do. And guess what? I love Michael Jordan. In a team game, you might make it real hard for Giannis. But one-on-one, Mike's not stopping Giannis.
Oh, no. Mike wouldn't even stick him. Mike wouldn't even stick him. No, that's why the GOAT conversation.
Now, Mike would get him in some chase down blocks. I ain't gonna lie to you. I feel like Mike would have a game where he had like 6 chase down blocks on Giannis.
No, Mike could get dunked on. Mike could get dunked on
in a chase down.
Listen, when you go up for that chase down and I'm still rising, you're floating by. It's like,
no. Understand the word you said though. Floating. Giannis would have been rising. Mike would have been rising. At a certain point, Mike keep going up.
Hey, dog. Hey,
Giannis
listen,
got a limit to his jump.
Giannis
He's just
has
real tall.
nearly 7 inches in height over him.
There's a lot of dudes that have
a 7-foot wingspan. I'm sorry. If he just jumps straight up with that ball, it ain't nothing Mike can do with that. I love Mike. Mike is to me the GOAT, but he's the GOAT for the 90s. He's the GOAT of that era.
Greatest of that era.
He's not the greatest of all time.
Here's the thing. I think you know how we talk about it. NBA is very tough to debate like that. But for me, when I look at coming into modern era, Mike's still better than most of these mugs. There's nobody that and the players that are great now tell me Mike would have been 10 times better in today's NBA.
DeMar. If DeMar can be king of the fourth
James
in
Harden
today's league,
35.
Michael Jordan is going to be king of the fourth in today's league.
James Harden scored 35 for a season. And Muggs were like, but Michael Jordan wouldn't have to do that. And that's not championship level basketball. Do you know the only person to have the usage rate and win an NBA championship similar to James Harden's while scoring 30 plus points per game? Michael Jordan. No, it's Michael Jordan. He got used for more than 56% of the time on the court and won an NBA championship. Nobody's even come close to that. I think the closest is like 48, 49.
Hey, I love Chicago. Giannis ain't stopping Mike at all. I'm gonna need you to sit your young tail down, my man. I'm gonna tell you this: you comparing a guard to a forward who can move just as fast.
I don't think Giannis could stop Mike.
What do we mean by stop?
I stop him from winning a game. Like basketball is a team game. I was just saying one-on-one because we always do the one-on-one thing. Like if LeBron played Mike one-on-one, who will win? I really think Mike could win that.
Mike will win one-on-one because he has the ability to sit there and take him off the dribble and stuff like that. And
he's a great defender.
But
like
so
everybody
LeBron the level of defender?
Just backing in.
Yeah. Is LeBron the level of defender of Giannis?
Is LeBron the level of defender of Giannis in his prime? Yeah.
I don't think so.
In his prime, yeah. No. Yeah, LeBron was a clamp. LeBron was legitimately.
Yeah, I saw LeBron clamp guards that were 6'3", 6'4". You know, he shut down D Rose last second, but D Rose put him on skates a couple of times. Like D Rose has excelled in that matchup.
This is the thing. D Rose put him on skates, but in that series, D Rose was very non-existent in that last game.
The last game, yeah.
Very non-existent. Well, that was the game where they were like it was the last game and like the second half of the game before. It was like, oh, if I play him, no one else is gonna do anything because they don't have that level of talent. So I'll play him. And you saw that. Like I've seen LeBron shut people down. Now, do I think that
Mike is not shutting like Giannis down?
Mike's not shutting Giannis down. I don't
LeBron
think
can shut Giannis down.
The thing. Nobody shuts down anybody. Like Mike shut down guards. Like if you want to put him up against guards, Mike can shut down every guard in the NBA right now.
Hey, by the way, Allen Iverson definitely rookie Allen Iverson the best.
The best guard in the NBA right now, Mike can shut him down. Who's the best two guard in the NBA right now? I mean, technically Kyrie, I guess.
Technically Kyrie, but
is Kyrie a two guard? Like that's so weird. It's like he's a two guard, 6'3".
I don't want to see Mike on Kyrie because that's the same way you don't see Devin Booker on Kyrie or Zach on Kyrie. I don't want my two guard getting mixed up like that.
Nah,
I just don't want it happening.
We talk about DPOYs though. We talking about DPOYs. Plus,
did you see Mike against AI?
Yeah, I did. Yeah,
that wasn't he didn't clamp him up.
Hey, listen. That was a game. It's also Mike against Kobe. Like
Kyrie is a better guard than AI.
Hey,
he's not clamping AI up.
Let's look at.
He's not clamping him up.
Let's look at the whole picture though. How'd that matchup work out?
There's only one player to have ever outdueled Michael Jordan multiple times in his career. It's AI. That's a fact. He did it.
Yeah, multiples too, my boy. How many times did it actually happen?
No, it happened. It happened twice.
Let's see. It happened twice.
There's only one player in NBA history in his era to have ever outdueled him, outscored him, and it was AI. He couldn't stick him.
AI was cooking. It's definitely not. Good Lord. Wait,
AI averaged what, 26 or 28 against him?
I'm trying to see. All right, let me see. I'm trying to go to they got that little land of basketball you did games between. That's actually pretty even. Mike got him there.
Hey, they go say Mike was old, but AI was a rookie and AI was young. So we're talking about, we're not even talking about prime AI. We're talking about AI out the gate.
The funny thing is, like, it's literally no matter what it's funny because it's like Mike versus AI. Oh, that's right. See, this the thing. No, they counting Washington.
I don't count Washington.
Yeah, I forgot about that. So really, they played one. They played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. They counting like 8 games in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games in Washington. 24-18 Mike, 31-20 AI, but Mike had 9 rebounds and 6 blocks.
Now here's the thing. I'm not AI. It's AI. Do you expect AI to get more boards than Mike? Heck no. But do you expect? Did you expect with
No,
AI
no, I'm not even looking at it. You know what? AI was getting them on the.
AI was dogging that man. Well, I'm not gonna say dog, but AI would roll into town and it would be a matchup for him.
It's a matchup for sure. AI shot horrible percentages though.
Yeah, man, he's 42% for his career.
AI got a game where he scored 40 on 23%.
My man was but the funny thing is Mike had problems with a lot of shifty guards. He had problems with Tim Hardaway at times when he matched up against him. Tim Hardaway used to mix him. I'm not saying that Mike couldn't, overall win the game, but you got to understand it's a team game.
Oh yeah.
In a team game, yeah, Mike is going to come out ahead. But I mean, in a one-on-one game, Mike is going to come out ahead. Why? Because he's going to post AI up. He's going to get like most of these guards can't hang with him on the other end. But if they have to just go at him, it'll be tougher than we give credit for. And it's okay to sit there and say the game has evolved and stuff like that. I'm not saying Mike would lose. I'm saying it ain't as easy as you think it is. Because if you thought AI 96 was a problem, you mean to tell me Kyrie ain't?
Hardaway was a bad comparison, my boy.
Say what?
I said Tim Hardaway was a bad comparison.
Oh, I'm not talking about the offensive output. I'm just talking about how he looks sticking him. You watch the tape. Tim Hardaway put some moves on Mike. I was like, I ain't think Mike got shook like that. Like I used to honestly think Mike never got shook.
No, I knew
Mike never missed a shot. Like I was that diehard of a Mike fan.
Mike made sure you knew that. I nope, that highlight can't go in there.
I used to be a huge Mike fan, and I still am. But I'm like, as I've gotten older, I've gotten more realistic about his game. It's like, yo,
them moves came in some shifty 9-point games.
Shifty, right?
Hey, them some shifty 9-point games. He had a game he had 29 on. Oh dang, never mind. I ain't look at the other number. He had 29 on Mike. Mike had 49 on him.
Tim Hardaway, like our size though. I don't know how his son gets
I love their last matchup though. This is the epitome of it. Wizards won 107-75. Mike had 7. Tim had 2. Now y'all should have been gone, dog. What are y'all still doing here at this point? Like, at least Mike getting money. Tim, what's your excuse?
What was Gary Payton's matchup against Mike? Because Gary swear up and down he could hang with him. Gary to this day be like, I could hang with him.
Gary got one highlight versus Mike where he get that dunk and then go, yes. And I don't think I've ever seen another highlight between them two. They played 21 games. Mike won 14. Gary won 7. First matchup. Now, how far after? So Mike's already in the league at this point. He's already a god. 33-2. That's his first matchup. 31-10. 31-8. 19-9. This is the 91-92 season. Gary been in the league a long time at this point. 35-18, 38-9. Gary start to fight back at this point. 95. Gary wins the matchup. 26-22. Game of his life. Supersonics win by 4. Very next matchup, Mike took it personally. 35 points, 14 rebounds, 5 assists. Gary had 8, 1, and 3.
Yeah, Gary ain't want no smoke.
Hey, listen, it ain't good. It gets worse.
Hey. You don't have to have Gary fight back and he can't.
It gets worse, my boy. Like, it never gets better. Listen. In 2002, 2003, Mike outscored Gary 27-14. Gary had 16 assists that day. I'll give you that one. That's freaky.
Mordecai, that's a good one. Mitch Richmond. I'm glad we went down this memory lane. That's let you know.
We always do this randomly. Hey, you know what it is? That means it's a slow sports day.
Slow sports
day. Whenever we just randomly go down on a Jordan tangent, it's a slow sports day.
Dog, I really love to have done this with Stacey, man. I really wanted to get his opinion from that. I got so many questions from that era, bro.
Hey, man, that's why I want to get him on for a. You know what though, Stacey seemed. I like how Stacey's level-headed with it, right? Like he's not like Shaq legitimately thinks Giannis would be a role player in the 90s. I don't know if I go that far, but I get his point, and I get where him and T-Mac was arguing, and where he said he wouldn't have been able to just operate in the paint at the weight he is because power forwards were the weight he is.
I'm so on the fence about T-Mac, dog. T-Mac make me so mad.
Why? Because he talked like he got 6 rings and he ain't been out the first
talked
round.
like he was that dude. And realistically, by the time 05, 06 rolled around, he wasn't that dude anymore.
No, injuries.
T-Mac had a very James Harden like
injuries had destroyed
career.
Oh, we got 4 minutes left. We gotta tell the story about how we met.
Man, that's a separate video, man.
We said we would tell that. Oh, I mean, it can be posted as a separate video. Why you think I'm doing that? Dropping the clips. Nah, man. How me and Kid met. My wife said there's another light-skinned guy that has a head shape similar to yours, and y'all probably would get along. And no, honestly, I don't even remember what it was. We was going out to it was a nightclub, wasn't it? It was a lounge kind of thing.
It was like a reggae lounge.
Yeah, the Wild Boar or something like that. And
the Wild Hair.
Yeah, close enough. And I never went back.
Our
wives wanted to kick it, basically, and dragged us along for the party. And Kid was down to party, and I was like the kid that I was the guy that couldn't stand crowds. And was like, why are you taking me to a club? So we ended up popping out. Got to the spot. It was a group of ladies that was there, including our wives. Some random dude just rolled up and snapped a pic. Like, I don't know if he was in the club. I don't know who he was. He just walked up and walked off.
Dog, the disrespect. Homie, like, we're sitting on couches. So I'm sitting on a couch, like, right here. There's a adjacent couch where Pat's at. Mind you, me and Pat really haven't talked. Like, we're
all night.
Like, we acknowledge each other and stuff like that. We cool, but we really ain't talk. But the guy comes and reaches over. Like, I'm on the couch. He reaches over me. And I'm looking at this dude take pictures. And I'm like, it took me a second to realize what happened. Because I'm thinking, well, maybe he has a girl in that crowd. Then I realized all these women are with us.
Yeah. We wasn't macking. There were multiple husbands there as well.
It was definitely a group thing. It was a group thing. I sat there and my wife begged me not to be that guy. She didn't want me to be that guy because when we used to go out, it was always something. I never was a troublemaker, but stuff just seemed to happen that's real disrespectful. Like what just happened. And I'm not the person that's going to let it slide. Well, apparently Pat is that same person too. Because he saw what I saw. And as I got up and I was marching over to address the dude, I didn't say nothing to nobody. I'm marching over to see this person and I passed Pat. I didn't even see Pat get up. But in the middle of me going over there, I was like, I'm not going to be that guy. I'm going to let it slide. It's just a picture. Let my wife have fun. As soon as I turn back around, boom, there's Pat. Again, we said like 2 sentences to each other. But at this moment, I realized he saw what I saw. We were on the same wavelength. And at this point, something was going to go down. And we really didn't talk much about it. But we acknowledged the fact that we were there.
Yeah.
And then it just became the talk internally with me and my wife. I was like, man, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but I like that dude.
The best part is when we went to like a taco joint after, and these are mugs that I almost have never kicked it with. I'm not a go out and kick it. Like I got my set group of friends. That's it. I can take over the world with 4 people. And he go over there and Kid's like, hey, I appreciate you for having my back on that, man. I really appreciate you rocking with me on that. You know, I didn't know what was going to go down. I didn't know how it was going to go down, but you was there. Now, all of y'all that I have known for 10 plus years, where were y'all?
I didn't do that. I did that?
Yeah.
Dang.
You called out everybody else that was there. I don't even remember none of the dudes' names that was there, but I remember one buddy going like, I thought you was going to the bathroom.
The funny thing is, one of the person who did say that though, he actually got hands, like registered hands. Oh, so which is another reason why I was upset because the one guy who I know could definitively kick everybody behind here didn't even stand up. Yeah, like, we all disrespecting and you just sitting there kicking it. What's the problem?
Hey, big chilling, big chilling. So that's how essentially that's the first time me and Kid met. We really didn't kick it for a while after that, but then our wives was like, "No, let's get them back together because they like to fight." So we went out to dinner, and then I told Kid that my favorite player was Dennis Rodman and Vince Carter, and he was like, "You got a weird list, dog." And the rest is history.
You got the weirdest list. He got the all-time potential team for real.
The all potential team, dog. That team that Ringo called out before he gave his list. That was the team that those are my favorite players, man. Vince Carter, Dennis Rodman. I think I said somebody.
Hey, Garza, I just realized that you did say because they like to fight. What you talking about, my boy? I don't. We don't like to fight. We're a Christian people.
Yeah. We appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with us as always, man. We're gonna keep it pushing. Y'all know I'm gonna have a video dropping at 5 today, getting y'all that good content at 5. You know what I'm saying? So appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with us on that. We will be giving away, no longer qualifying. We passed 13K. We'll be giving away the Dosumnu jersey tomorrow. So make sure that y'all pull up and tune in and show love on that. As always, man, it's your boy Pat the Designer back at it again, joined by the pettiest man alive, Mr. P Kid. Ayo, Chicago. Y'all stay safe out there, man.